Hello, everybody. Okay,
Oh.
perfect. The microphones are already working.
Okay.
And before we start, I'd like to tell you this short story because I know Caroline for quite a long time. I didn't know her very well, but I met her the first time when she was still working at Zalando. And then I kind of heard through friends that she's doing her own fashion label, and I thought, oh my God, that's so tough. Because as you all might know, there are so many fashion labels right now out there. And then we met last week to prepare a little bit the session, and I was really, really shocked in a positive way how successful this company, Ivy and Oak, got. But now she's going to tell you this amazing story. Caroline, to start with, you were working 5.5 years at Zalando.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, you were managing this label, Mint and Berry, and then you decided to quit. Why was that?
Well, I always wanted to start my own label since I'm a little girl. I actually wanted to be a fashion designer since I'm 10 or 11 years old. So yeah, I kind of had this goal always in my mind. And yeah, 2010, I actually started, like many people in Berlin, actually working for Zalando. And I would say it was probably the most amazing experience for me because it was actually like a university project, no? So many young people gathered together with a big drive, no fear, no risk. It was a big chaos as well, but people kind of got amazing chances. So did I. So I think I was like 23 or something when I actually started Mint and Berry. And I had no clue how to do it actually, no? So it was just me and one business guy. And we were just sitting in a room, be like, okay, we just do a label now, no? So how do we do it? No one had no idea. So I was actually the only designer in this whole Zalando company. So they basically had no choice. They had to take me for that. So, well, I just started it, and then it has developed in such an amazing way, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. But it also became more and more a fast fashion brand, which was kind of against what I wanted to do, which was against my vision. And after 5.5 years, I said, okay, kind of looked back on my life. I said, okay, I'm turning 30 soon. And I had this dream, and where is this? So I kind of decided that overnight. I said, okay, it's the last chance. I need to do it now or never. Now it doesn't hurt if I fall over, you know, no family, no kids, nothing. So I said, okay, just do it. So I quit the next day. Everybody was super shocked because I was kind of part of this Zalando family for such a long time. Yeah, and then I started it basically in my living room on my own. Yeah, it was kind of a big challenge, and I have to admit the first day I was like, oh my God, what do you do? So yeah, it was a tough step out because obviously, you know, in fashion it's so hard. I mean, there's so much competition out there. And especially I'm a designer, no? From my background, I grew more and more into this management role, but that's my background. So yeah, I always say I had a Mount Everest in front of me. Yeah, but I think I had the courage to climb it, so.
Like you just said, there are so many fashion brands out there. So being at Zalando, you see all those different fashion brands, and it seems like there's everything already on the market. What was the vision in the first place for Ivy and Oak? Like, how is your brand different than anything else that's already out there?
Well, I think you always think there's everything out there, and there are some white spots left. So I found one. Actually, as I worked for Zalando, obviously I was surrounded by so much assortment, and we went to all the trade fairs in all the big cities in the world, and we watched the fashion, of course. And I always seen, you know, the whole fast fashion bit has grown massively, and the whole premium luxury section has grown massively too. So in between, I call it premium high street. There was only casual brands coming up, like all the cool new denim brands, etc., but nothing really feminine came, no? There were all the Scandinavian brands, you know, really minimalistic, straight lines, etc. But the alternative to Zara, COS, and also a Sandro Marche, Claudie Pierlot, there was nothing coming up. And I said, okay, why is no one doing that? So the idea of Ivy and Oak was kind of born years ago. I said, okay, no one is doing that. So I went to all these fairs, and I always kind of, you know, was hiding my expectation. I was like, okay, probably someone did it now. Probably someone did it. So years went by, no one did it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to feel this white spot, which is called occasion wear, but we call it contemporary occasion wear. So actually what I'm wearing is what we're doing. So it's kind of business wear, occasion wear, clothes for the special moments in your life, and for a fair price and a very, very good quality. So that's what we're doing.
And who is your target group? Like women, obviously, but what age, what income?
Yeah, probably you would expect me to say it's around 30, no. So it's not, it's actually 25 to 65. We have actually a wide range, and everybody says you can't do that, you need to focus. I'm like, no, we're doing fashion for women. That's what we're doing. It just depends on how you combine it. You know, so I can combine it in a more cool way, and I don't look, I'm not looking like 65, I'm 32 and something. So it's actually, my mom is one of the best customers. She's 63. And I also have, surrounded by youngsters who actually need, an outfit for their first job or their first, invited to their first wedding or etc. So it's quite a wide range, which is really attractive and nice for us to do.
So obviously that's the right way to go, because you told me right now you're in the 3rd year and you're planning to do almost 10 million on revenue this year, which I think is incredible. How did you do that, and which channels are the most important sales channels for your brand?
Well, when I decided to do my own brand, I said, okay, I'm going to risk it all. I'm not going to do that twice or 3 times or whatever. I did it with Mint & Berry. That was my school. I said, I've got this one chance. I'm going to risk it one time. Because obviously, you invest a lot of money. I put all my money in this company. And obviously, you find investors to invest in your company. So I said, I'm not going to disappoint them. I'm not going to disappoint myself. I'm going to give it all. So we actually launched this brand on 5 different channels at the same time. So we basically launched our own online shop, we launched our own pop-up store, we launched through 2 marketplaces, we launched through parts of wholesale. What was the 5th one? I forgot one. Online shop, marketplaces, wholesale, pop-up store. Yeah, can't remember anymore. So it was 5, and people said, "Are you fucking crazy?" Because they said it's so complex. It's gonna be so risky. Focus on one channel. Focus on one thing. You're gonna mess it up. And I said, no, I'm gonna go do that one time. We're gonna risk it all, and we're gonna do that one. So on the 3rd of May, 2016, we launched it. And I have to admit, one day before we launched, the online shop didn't work. Yeah, the pop-up store wasn't ready. The warehouse didn't work properly, so everything was a big chaos. And we said, oh my God, is this gonna work out?
It's startup style.
But it did. So actually 4 weeks after we launched the brand, we placed our first reorder. So we were sold out. So basically, it was all working out fine with a lot of bruises, of course, but it worked.
You just mentioned it. So you're also using About You and Zalando, which are as a sales channel. They have so much stuff. Like, why do customers from About You and Zalando find your dresses, your trousers, your shirts? Is there like a strategy behind it? Do you have to do certain things so you pop up very high?
Well, as a startup, you don't have so much money to actually invest in marketing that much, no? So we've invested everything into the product, and that kind of worked out for us. We delivered a product on a very, very special quality, in a very special price, with a very special style, and that kind of was a sweet spot on Zalando. And obviously, as I worked for Zalando for such a long time, I knew there's a gap in the assortment. I also knew About You was not filling it. And once we met actually the first buyers, etc., all of them reacted very positive on our product because they said, yeah, that's exactly what we need. So I think so far we still, don't really have any benchmark brand. So we always say, we kind of are the alternative to Sandro, Mars, Claudie Pelot, etc. But there is no exact benchmark brand on our exact positioning, and I think that's the good thing right now.
And you, some weeks ago, you started an offline store in Berlin-Mitte. It's actually next to Edited, which is the brand of About You. So in the city center, why does a brand like Ivy & Oak need an offline store?
So like I said, for us, it's all about the quality and a lot about values within our company. So we focus on sustainability, we focus on timeless collections. We don't want to just do fashion. Like, there's so many fashion brands out there, we want to make a difference. So transporting the story online is sometimes quite hard because very often people look on our website and they see that this beautiful coat, and they're like, okay, this coat is like 199.95. It can't be a real good quality. So, you know, this is kind of in the heads of the customers. So we said, okay, how can we, you know, move that around? Like, people really need to touch the product. And like I said, when we launched the brand, we actually launched our first pop-up store, and the reaction was so positive. People came in, they touched the products, they looked into on the price tag, and they said, what the hell, why is that, you know, what, I don't know, less than 200 euros? So that's kind of the whole secret of our brand, is really even that, you know, that's a fabric which is super expensive. We just, you know, offer, like, have a super low markup and offer a very good price. So I think our customers really need to learn our philosophy, and that's a lot better to transport offline than online in a way. So we believe in the mix. So our strategy is clearly omni-channel now, and we also want to learn from our customer. This whole brand is based on a customer request, basically. So we want to learn from them, really want, you know, I actually just on Saturday, I was there for 1 hour working myself, you know. I kind of guided the guy, you know, a woman, and yeah, gave her a dress and said, okay, you know, you can do this and that without. She didn't know who I am, she didn't know it was my label, so I think it's really important that we know about the customer, that we hear their needs and translate it.
You also have like several investors on board, and like a fashion label right now is definitely not the typical case for investors, I would say, right now. What are your next steps? Like, what do you tell your investors? Okay, we want to go there and there. Like, what are you planning in the next year, the next 2 years?
A lot. So actually, we started ambitious, we're going to continue ambitious. So the first offline store is actually 1 in a row. So we're gonna open probably, a few all over Europe. That's the plan. So we're not gonna open 20 stores in Germany. It's more one in Berlin, 1 in Amsterdam, 1 in Stockholm, etc. So we really want to connect offline and online. We're gonna invest a lot in our online shop right now. We're gonna redesign it. We're gonna push it. We're gonna really push the traffic on our online shop as well. And we're going to invest into growing the team. So we're around 22 people now, and we need a lot more to make this work. So if anyone, you know, is interested, we have a lot of open vacancies. And then we push our sustainability strategy. So basically, my goal is within 5 years to be a fully transparent brand. So we really want to show the customer, where's my product produced, where's the fabric made, where does the button come from, etc. So it's going to be a full transparent brand without being an eco brand. So,
and can you keep the prices while doing this, like those prices what we are just talking about?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the whole thing. I mean, I think the funny thing is that we talked to so many luxury retailers, and everybody told us you need to charge double the price for your coat. And I said, why should I? I mean, that's exactly my sweet spot. So everybody was really kind of doing this to me. So I think that's exactly the sweet spot where we're in, and I think it would be more than wrong to change the pricing.
Okay, you just named the example code. Just to give the audience an example, so a code is around how much?
So it starts at
right
around 199, like a classic long code, and it goes up to around 270.
Okay. Since we don't have that much time left, I wanted to ask you 2 more personal questions. You didn't study business, you didn't study IT, so you're not the typical founder, I would say, because there's so many founders right now, of course, out there who have been or have gone to a typical business school. You studied fashion design, and you sometimes coming to the point where you say, oh gosh, I don't know this, I don't know how to do this, or were you just, okay, no, it's easy, I just, you know, learned it from friends or colleagues. How did you do that?
Yeah, well, I was super scared, but I think one of my key messages is actually you don't need to study business to do great business. So I think that's kind of going around here in the startup world. I think that's not the case. I think you need to be ambitious and passionate about what you're doing and believe in your own goals and on your own dreams, and that's what I did. And I think I was always quite self-reflected on what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. So I think that's one of the key targets to each one out there who's actually started their own company is know your strengths and know your weaknesses, and that's what I did, and that's what I still have, of course. No, I'm not a finance girl. I know exactly how to do a product, how to do production, how to bring this brand out there. But yeah, of course, I mean, starting a brand is a lot about cash and investment, etc. So I was surrounding myself with people that I trusted and that I knew that I'm good, and everything I'm not good, so I can focus on my strengths.
And your investors, were they like, wow, it's so cool that you're a fashion designer because you're founding a fashion brand, or were they like, are you sure you can do this?
Yeah, I think they were worried a little bit, but I kind of proved them wrong, so that's good.
Okay, perfect. That's a good last sentence, and I hope we have some questions in the audience. Are there some questions for Carolina?
Can't see
No? No?
I would like to know where you produce your clothes. In Germany or in Asia or wherever?
Hello. So we mainly produce in Bulgaria, in Macedonia. We do knitwear in Germany, and we also have one supplier in China. Yeah, so it's mainly close by. So that's also one of the parts for this sustainability approach for us, no? Because obviously we just have a handful of suppliers that we actually visit regularly. So we go to the factories. I go to the factories myself, actually checking everything. So I think obviously Asia is not a bad market to produce. It's just not that close by, and we really want to stick close to our suppliers and watch them and develop with them. So yeah.
Why don't you do it in Germany in the first place rather than go to Bulgaria?
It's really difficult in Germany, especially on the product we're doing. As it's mainly tailored fashion, it's really, really hard to find really good factories. So for knitwear, that's what we did, because there are still some classic knitwear factories in Germany. But for woven, it's something I need a little bit more time for. But definitely that's something we're going to kind of move towards too. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yes, we still have a couple of minutes, so shoot away with your questions. Yes, okay. We have one over here to the right.
Because I have also some more questions.
Hi. You were talking about how important it is to know your customers. So how do you, you just now opened a store where you can actually talk to them, but before you were an online shop, how did you, let's say, low budget way got to know your customers the way you wanted to produce your stuff?
Well, it sounds really cheap, but actually I was surrounded by people that had the same frustration that I had. So I actually needed more occasion-driven clothes, but I wasn't willing to spend 400, 500 euros on a dress every single time. So if you're turning 30-something, you're invited to festive events like all the time. You know, I had I don't know how many weddings I had, 5 a year or something, and you need to have a nice outfit all the time. Same for business. So I said, okay, we need to fill this gap, and that was kind of the frustration of all my friends. And then the same with our bridal segment. I mean, who looked at our website, we actually did bridal from the beginning on. We were one of the first brands who did budget bridal dresses, no? Because that's one of the sweet spots as well, where everybody says, like, why should I spend 2,000 or 3,000 euros on a dress? I might as well invite 10 more people to my wedding. So I think it's more listening to customers actually and friends, and that was actually the first stage. And then obviously I looked at the assortment, talked to buyers, etc. And this sweet spot became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when you turn 30-something, or even 25 or something, like your buying behavior is changing, no? So you're not willing to spend all your money at Zara, Mango, H&M anymore. You wonder, where is it coming from? It should last a little bit longer. And I watched myself look into my own wardrobe, and I said, okay, what are the pieces I'm always throwing out? And it's always the trendy, fast fashion, crazy pieces that I thought for one summer are really cool. So I threw it out, and what was left was actually the classic cool blazer, a nice business pants, a cool leather jacket, etc. So more classic pieces that I always combine a different way. And I think this customer, probably some of them sit there, it's actually proven they are out there. So that's kind of our secret sauce. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, we still have time for another question, please. Over there, all the way to the left.
Hi.
Hello.
What was your approach in a marketing perspective, or in other words, what did you do to spread your brand?
Yeah. Well, you would
as a newcomer.
Not that much at the beginning, to be honest. So in launching the brand on so many different channels, actually, we went the smart way. And So we actually started the brand with About You and Zalando, and obviously they were a lot better in marketing than we were. So that's why we started with partner program and wholesale. So like that, we actually, you know, went into their marketing channels as well, and they did their performance marketing. And obviously, you know, with our limited cash and limited invest, we couldn't battle that one. So we used actually About You, Zalando, etc. to get the brand out there, to get brand awareness. Then we started from the beginning on with quite a big PR agency in Germany, which was an invest for us. But when you focus on customers 25 plus, that's still the way of doing PR, no? So influencer marketing from the beginning on wasn't the right choice for us. So we're starting that now, but we kind of started in a little bit of old-fashioned way, and it worked out. So now it's the time after 2 years to really do marketing. So yeah, that's the next point. Yeah.
Great, thank you. I think we are running out of time. Perfect. Thank you so much, Caroline. I think it was a really, really interesting talk, very interesting answers, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.